I want to give a shout out to Fishing with Papa All Day. He gave us a shout out on his channel during the unboxing video that he put out, and we actually picked up quite a few subscribers from his video. So we appreciate you, Papa All Day. Hope you enjoy that bait. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. First off, thanks for sticking with us. The channel's growing and we appreciate everybody coming back and watching videos that we put out. We're enjoying doing them. Thanks for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. Throughout the video, you'll see a subscription button down below that you can use to subscribe. You're also going to see a little fish over in this corner, which is the subscription button if you hover over. So hit those buttons and subscribe to us. I decided to do this series of videos due to a request I got to do a series of videos on the bull shad. Didn't really know how to do them. I've got so many bull shads I didn't know whether to break it down into size or just show them all at one time and talk about them all at one time. I decided to break it down into a series of videos, starting with the smallest, working to the largest. Little disclaimer about the video here. First off, I'm not being compensated by Bull Shad or anybody else for doing this. Don't want anybody to think that. Don't expect anything for doing this. Don't expect anything for talking about them. It's a good bait. Mike Bucca's an excellent guy. Myself and Mike Kinnick and Rob and Scott have known him for a while now. He's always been really good to us, nice to us, and answered all our questions and went out of his way to do whatever he needed to do to keep us happy, as he does all his customers. So we appreciate him making this bait, making a good bait. We're not experts on the bait at all. We're not experts in the manufacture of the bait. Don't know the specifics on how he makes them or anything else. All we do is fish them in the local rivers in our area, and they work. They catch really big smallmouth bass. The bigger the bait you throw, the bigger the smallmouth bass you catch. There's no rhyme or reason to it. They work on the bank. They work away from the bank. They work along the edge of weed lines. They work on ledges. They work in the middle of the river. They work in shallow water. They work in deep water. They work in current breaks. They work in still water. They work in all the rivers in upper East Tennessee that we have fished on. One river is not as good as the others, but I don't know if that's due to fish population or just the nature of the river. One river in particular has some deeper holes, and bull shads don't seem to work as good over there, but they still work really good. I'm sure not an expert on the bait, but I think it's a little bit different fishing them in the rivers than it is in the lake, and I don't think anybody has done any videos on how we fish them in the river, so I thought I'd give it a shot. I want to start out with the smallest bull shad, and I'll work my way up through the tackle box and the bull shads that I have, and tell you exactly how I fish them, the knots I tie, how they swim in the water. Hopefully have some swim video for you. Talk about weights of each bait. Also, hopefully have some video of how they sink and the sink rate. So I hope you enjoy the series. This is the first in the series. I'll start with the 4-inch bull shad. There's actually a couple of 4-inch baits, or what is referred to as 4-inch. There's a baby bull shad that was put out by Catch Co. In conjunction with, I guess Mike got with Catch Co, Mike Buca, and developed this bait and tested this bait. This bait is a mass-produced bait. They sell them on Catch Co and other websites. I think they sell for around $15 a piece, $14.99, something like that. But you can go to Catch Co. I'll drop links to all this in the description. Links to Mike Buca's website, bullshad.com, Catch Co. These baits that Catch Co developed are not quite 4 inches. They are 3.75 inches long. I'm not quite sure how many different ones that he put out as far as the types. This is a rainbow trout from Catch Co. I know he put out, this is bluegill. This is gizzard shad, this is bone. This is the bone baby bull shad. This is gizzard shad, baby bull shad. The baits weigh 0.55 ounces. They're really light. The baby bull shad is the only bull shad that you can throw comfortably on conventional bass tackle, in my opinion. I throw the baby bull shad on regular bass tackle. This is a Carbon Fire Speed Stick by Lew's. They sell them at Dick's. You can find these things on sale for $40 at different times of the year. It's not a real expensive rod, but it's a good rod. It's a 7 foot. It's a 1/4 ounce to 1/7 ounce lure weight. Lines anywhere from 12 to 25 pound line. It is a medium heavy rod with fast action. The reel is a Daiwa Tatula. It is a CT100H. It's 6.3 to 1 gear ratio. And I have 12-pound trick fish mono on that reel. That's my baby bull shad setup. So this bait, this is a baby bull shad, but it's a resin baby bull shad. This bait was the first one Mike developed before he released the baby bull shad from Catch Co, if I remember correctly. This is a resin bait. It is 4 inches long from the tip of the line tie on the nose to the tail. All these baits are considered slow sink baits. This bait weighs 0.85 ounces. Here I have the resin bait, which is the top bait, laid out next to the Catch Co bait, which is a ABS plastic bait. And just to show the size difference, you can see the resin bait slightly bigger profile, maybe a little bit wider profile, and slightly longer. Both are good baits. I just wanted to point out the differences in the two. So the next thing I want to show you is the knot that I tie when I tie my bull shads on. Now I don't know if you'll be able to see this or not. I'm gonna tie it with this light line. This is 12-pound test. I don't even know if you can see it. But this is a line coming off the reel, coming off the rod. Take that line and double it. Just double it into a loop. You got a little loop there. I'm tying a Palomar knot. It's a simple knot to tie. And I'll drop a link down in the description to the knot so everybody can see it. If you can't see it here. Just take that loop, run it through your eyelet. I'm going to pull that all up. So you got 2 strands on each side of the bait. Then you want to cross one over the other, cross your right hand over the one on your left, and tie an overhand knot. Just don't pull that tight yet. Just hold it. You got a little loop there between my fingers. Hold it tight. This loop here in your left hand, run that bait back through the loop. Once you get it all pulled back through the loop, you just want to cinch that knot up tight. It helps to wet it a little bit. I'm tying this dry, but it helps to wet it a little bit. And then just find your tag end. Trim your tag end down next to your knot. It's a real dependable knot, doesn't slip. Really good knot. With all bull shads, even though these baits are they're $15 a piece. I mean, even though it's an entry-level bait, that's still expensive for a bait, for any bait, in my opinion. When you tie these knots, make sure you tie a good knot. Make sure you check your knots. Also, when you catch a fish on these things, and you land that fish, the first thing you want to do before you throw this bait back into the water, before you cast it back out, is check your knot, check your line. A good rule of thumb with a bull shad, all bull shads, is when you catch a fish, you retie, whether you need to retie or not. It's a good idea to retie, especially if you're throwing mono. If you're throwing any line, it's a good idea with the bull shad to retie after every fish. If you don't catch a fish for an hour, then you need to retie every hour anyway. I retie more often than that probably, but you need to retie when you're throwing swim baits. If you don't, you'll end up losing your bait because of a bad place in your line. I want to retie this knot for you guys because I didn't know if you could see it or not with this light line that I had. But anyway, the line coming off my rod and reel is in my left hand. This is the tag end. So you want to take that tag end, double it over. Just double it over on top of itself. This is 25-pound test, by the way. Too big for this bait, but I'm using it to tie the knot. So once you get it doubled over, you want to run it through the eyelet. Run it through the eyelet. Grab that loop that you just put through the eyelet in your right hand. In your left hand, you got 2 pieces of line also. You got the tag end coming off the loop and your main line. So take the loop in your right hand, cross it over the 2 lines in your left, and then tie an overhand knot. So once you tie an overhand knot, it looks like this. You got a loop there. So you got a loop in your left hand now. You want to grab this, you want to grab all this in your right hand, take the loop in your left hand, and run the bait through the loop, spread it open, run the bait through the loop in your left hand. Once you get it run through, pull it back over the eyelet, and you've got the knot right there on the end. Now I'm going to wet it down a little bit You want to wet it down a little bit and pull it tight. Pull all 4 strands tight. If you get a little loop in your line, just work it up over the bait and cinch it down tight. And you'll see there's what the knot looks like. So then just find your tag end, right? It's right here. Clip it off close to the bait. And there's what your knot looks like. That's a Palomar knot. I will drop a link in the description of this video with the diagram showing you guys how to tie that, if you'll go to that link. So in this next section of the video, I want to show you how these things look and sink as they hit the water. So I wanted to show you sink rates of the first 3 baits, which are Ketchco, versus the sink rate of the last bait, which is resin. These are slow sink baits. In this next video clip, you're going to see a bull shad in the water that is actually a 4-inch floating bull shad. Don't know that it was made on purpose or if it's an accident, but it's actually the first 3 times I drop it in the water, it floats, and then it slowly starts to sink and suspend. So don't know if that's was intended to be that way or if that was just made on accident, but that will be a really good bait. It's a good bait to have. Hey, I wanted to come down the river and do a little swim video for you all on the baby bull shad. Wanted you to be able to see it in the water. So this is Ketchco baby bull shad. Check it out and see how it swims. Throwing it on a this Daiwa Tatula and Lew's carbon fire speed stick that I talked about in the video. Hope you can see that. That's the way we fish them in the river. We fish them up in the top of the water column. Really right on top of the water, pretty much. Just throw it out and burn it back. Burn it back to where it looks like a little V coming on top of the water, like a shad in a lake. If you crank it too fast, you'll blow it out. There's a certain speed you want to crank. Also, if you're in real heavy current, and you throw a cross current, if you don't slow your reel down in the heaviest current, you'll blow it out. It'll roll over on its side. It's just the nature of the bait in heavy current. So you sort of got to match your reel speed to the current you're in. So this is the 4-inch resin bait that I'm getting ready to throw. It's a slow sink bait. I don't know if you can see it in the water right there or not. Sort of give you an idea how it sinks. This bait's just a little bit heavier than the Ketchco bait. A little bit wider than the Ketchco bait. A little bit bigger profile. And we work it the same way. Just throw it out there and crank it. Crank it back, burn it across the top. Looks like a little shad coming across the top of the water. Fish it on top or half-inch below the water column. In the upper water column, it's not a bait that we fish in the river down deep. This bait's the same way. If you throw across current in heavy current and reel it too fast, you'll blow it out. It'll roll over on its side. This is a 6.3 to 1 ratio reel. You could probably get by. You can probably get by throwing a little bit faster reel, high speed reel, would probably be better than this reel that I've got here. I wanted to come down here to the river to give a more realistic view of how we fish it. These next clips you see are actually clips of me catching fish on the North Fork with 4-inch bull shad. This was in June of 2019. The first clip you'll see me actually miss a fish, and then the last clip you'll see me catch a 16-inch smallmouth. Hey guys, that'll do it for the Bull Shad Series Episode 1. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you would like to purchase Bull Shad, go to www.bullshad.com and grab one off Mike Buca. He's a great guy. Greatest customer service in the whole swim bait industry, in my opinion. There'll be more to follow. Like I said, I'll go through the whole Bull Shad tackle box and we'll review each bait and let you see how they swim. Once again, I appreciate you guys subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you smash that subscribe button for us. Comment on the videos, and if you'll hit that little notification bell, then you'll know when we upload. Special shout out to Scott and Mike and Rob for helping me with these videos. You guys couldn't do it without you. Check back with us. Hope to see you next time. Thanks for tuning in.